the kitchen, anything from a box or something, it's like, oh,
What did you
so
guys
tiny,
have?
turn the light on, get your glasses out.
Well, I can read. I can read a little bit. It takes me a little longer.
Sounds like it's coming through.
Yeah, it sounds good. Officially wait till 7 on the clock, yeah? It's 1 minute different than the phone. Oh. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll start without you, John, if you want.
You get a water?
No, I'm good.
Are you saying it's stuck on there?
No, so it was for advanced account.
Oh, there we go. How about that? All right. Good evening, everybody. I'd like to welcome everybody to the Committee of the Whole meeting of the Village of Walton Hills of Tuesday, September 9th, 2025 at 7 p.m. Roll call.
Councilman Nielsen?
Here.
Councilwoman Canzoni?
Here.
Councilwoman Allen? Here. Councilman Spitznagel?
Here.
Councilman Whedon?
Present.
All of council here, along with our fiscal officer, Nicole Sell, our law solicitor, John Montello, our fiscal clerk, Melissa Sandrick. Here, like you leave this, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Because I see how it's supported you. You missed it, unless you watched it.
I did watch most of it, but I nodded off a few times. So,
Kind of like here.
and I heard you talking about the chicken soup.
All right. Item 4, which is any comments related to agenda items. We do allow people to comment throughout the meeting. If they have anything they want to comment about, you can do it now, you can do it during the meeting. Just like to also welcome anybody watching the live stream. We are live streaming it and also taking it in dispatch. Okay, we have item 5, which is the legislation for next week's meeting. We have ordinance 2025-11, repealing and replacing chapter 260.18 of the Village of Walton Hills Codified Ordinances and declaring an emergency. This is something we talked about before we recessed. I think it was talked about in the Safety Insurance Committee.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, go ahead.
It's primarily adjusting for the TAC employee and the assistant TAC and training hours for dispatch, correct?
That is correct. For that, that's fine. I know. Did we get the change in? Is the change in, or is it?
It is not. It'll be on for next week.
Okay, so we'll explain that, where we at in the ordinance.
Kind of in here.
Yeah, but the change is actually 6. Is there a new one?
No, yours isn't here. It's on the back.
Oh, so, okay, so let's kind of go over that. We had a meeting yesterday, myself, the chief, and Nikki. We went over the hours at that time. The chief was under the impression it was 160 hours per train, so I would be on the second page backside.
Yes, sir.
So, does anybody have any questions related to that legislation?
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, go ahead.
I don't have any questions. I just have a, well, it is, I guess it is a question, but it's not, I'm going to vote for this because we did talk about it and we all agreed to it and all that stuff. It's just a matter of, within the ordinance itself, could we say, for example, the title or somewhere in the body of what we're passing, what we are changing? Just a generic sentence kind of to make it known that the change is to TAC compensation or compensation for dispatchers, something like that. So somebody that's reading this, if I'm going, we've done several changes to 260, in the last several years, and they all say the same thing. And if you don't know what's particular to each one, I mean, I'm just thinking of somebody reading the ordinance itself that we have, researching something. It's not germane to the body of what we're doing, but for.
So just saying Exhibit A, you might want to say Exhibit A, notes. The notes not the number, but maybe the last one, John. Whatever you think, John.
Something. Yeah. So I say. So when I'm reading this, I say, oh, well, okay, this is because they changed the dispatchers somehow.
Mr. Mayor, I would agree with that, because when I was reading through it from my packet online, I was going through each one and comparing it
Trying
to
to
past
figure
ones, and I'm
out
like, and it's the very last thing, and I'm like, well, of course, it's the last thing, and yes, that's what this is for.
Yeah.
When we update that stuff, of course, then we have what the other two have, which says the dated past.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we can't put that in there now.
Right.
But look at the other two notes up there that have the date. It would have to be done later on. But in Tuesday's body, it was just referenced. Now, whatever you think, that's the reference.
Thank you.
So, Mayor Colgraf.
Yes,
Just
go ahead.
question. So are we talking about another attachment or another section to the actual resolution to say section like 4, this
No,
action?
we just have it in the body of the ordinance, of ordinance 2025, just probably somewhere in here, John, in a couple paragraphs.
I could summarize.
Well, what I said resolution, I meant to say ordinance.
Yeah, no, I know that, but
Yeah.
I knew what you meant.
Yeah.
But we'll change whether you note it down there.
Yeah, I'm talking about the
in the body.
specific in the body, so when somebody.
Okay.
It's not changing anything, so
No, you note it all down.
Right.
It's actually a good idea, nothing wrong with that. Because that way, if somebody wants to go look it up, they can see that right in the body of the ordinance.
I concur with that, but also, Mayor, if it's possible, when we talk about TAC, can we actually spell out the full title of what that job duty is? Not, I mean, we use an abbreviation of TAC, but could we just spell out its training? What is it?
I can't remember at
Yeah,
this time.
if we can do that, just to spell it out in one time,
Something coordinated.
just for clarity's sake.
Okay? Yeah, we can do that. We can do that in the first.
Technical?
Put in parentheses.
I'm just going to read, just kind of give an idea, because it is, so people understand what we're doing. We have dispatchers here, and they are assigned to different duties, and those duties encompass a lot of different things that the other dispatchers don't do. So we made a TAC officer and then assistant TAC officer.
Mr. Mayor, the
Yes.
tax officer is responsible for all of the warrants and things like that that go through from the police department to the court, and to make sure everything's updated and that everything is correct when they're audited too, and to support the auditor when they come in with any other information they would need.
And those positions are appointed by the chief of police and approved by the mayor. Right now, the two dispatchers, Jenna Lee would be the staff officer, Heidi would be the so this also, they've been doing it since the beginning of the year, just so covering the whole body of it. So if there's any questions, I would ask that we would go back to the beginning of the year when we started doing it, even though we didn't have the positions passed for compensation, everything's okay with that. Anyone just questions? And if there's any other questions, we can always address them. Maybe Keith or John have anything to add to that?
No,
Go ahead, John.
no, I don't think we can do that. Well, I would just say that, you know,
Regarding this,
I would say that the police chief would, you know, the police chief and the mayor will determine which person receives that compensation, you know, which they have, but it's just going forward down the line, that's who's in charge of assigning those duties.
terminal agency coordinator. Yeah, how can you not love these two, huh? Much as I never wanted to have one as an old guy, but nothing without it.
Let me jot that down again, what was that? Serve it out.
Terminal agency coordinator.
Make sure they're right there. Because it wasn't. All right. So we're all good with that. Any questions? Myself, John, or Nikki, or the chief, will answer those, and you can always make, we'd rather not, so they can then do it on Tuesday.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
I just want to say too, when the training dispatchers are actively training a new dispatcher, it's not just one person. But it's for that sum total of 600 hours, because the chief wants each different trainer to help train so they get a well-rounded experience while they're doing it. So, it's
Yeah, that's good point. The trainer isn't assigned, the trainer, it could be a different trainer each time, so that compensation, $1 or more, is only when the dispatcher is trained or something. They are not giving that all the time. The TAP they are, and the assistant TAP, maybe, but not the workshop happening. I thought you were making the face, to that, to the training, you only receive the compensation, the extra $1, when you're actually trained dispatcher. So if we can get a new dispatcher for a few years, then we need a compensation of $600. If they come, it's a maximum. Isn't that our maximum in that 600? Any questions from the audience? Residents, non-residents, watching the live stream? Okay, if you think of something, you can always come back to it. Okay? So we'll have that on for next week, if everybody's good with that. Further discussion, if needed.
resolution or ordinance stating what we thought the rates would be and what they should be, and the Budget Commission has recently, they've reviewed it, not just for us, but for every community. Every community has to, in Cuyahoga County, has to pass this same resolution before the end of the month there and get it back to the county. So they basically are affirming or clarifying what they believe it, they're just confirming it basically is all it is, and they're wanting you to adopt what they're confirming just to make it official, so we can prepare the budget for next year.
And this is actually their legislation that we sent us. Correct?
Correct.
Nikki, anything that you wanted to add to that? You got anything?
No, we'll fill it out, once council is over. It just asks for who voted to adopt it, who was in attendance, things like that.
The amounts are in there, those won't change.
Mayor, ours has been pretty steady. There hasn't been any changes for years, really, but they still have to go through this function. They just want to double, triple check that that's all we got coming in or what we're doing with it, and saying what we can do with it. That's basically all it is. It's required by the state to pass this every year.
Mr. Mayor?
Yeah, go ahead.
And just so the residents know, it's the property taxes and what the village receives, the 3.3% that has not increased.
There's some other items on there, but that's fine.
I could read the letter from the
Yeah, go ahead.
Cuyahoga County Budget Commission. It says attaches, it's dated, we just received it, but it's dated August 14th. The Dear Fiscal Officer attaches the tax resolution for tax year 2025. Please adopt the tax rates for your subdivision and email the signed tax rate resolution to our office by September 30th, 2025. That's it. Contact the Budget Commission with any questions or concerns. Doesn't really give much more of an explanation than that.
The one we did, which we're still going to keep in place too, and this was superseded, we did, we didn't have to do this, but it's their form. So I would like to ask for suspension of that next Tuesday. We will have that on the next meeting. Is there a time frame? What was it?
Yes.
At the end of the month, John just
End
said.
of the month, so that was the, kind of said, they didn't even give me that month. But we have time. Any questions on resolution 2025?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
is this a yearly thing that the county sends out to us? Once a year? Okay.
Any other questions? Not, it will be on the agenda, or will be on the agenda next week. Any other questions? I would say probably contact Nikki. I don't know if you know, if you can find it. Who's on this or anything. Any other questions? Okay. So those are the two pieces as of right now that I see us having for the COW and possibly next week for legislation. Now we have item C, which is the finance update, and we all look forward to is starting the 2026 budget process. Yeah, you two are smiling, I am so happy.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, go ahead.
I can start with just the highlights for the financial statements. RETA collections were down for August, but up for the year by 8.96%. Revenues exceeded expenditures for the year by over $840,000. Expenditures are at 61% of our budget for the general fund and 57.91 overall. Items just of note that we typically don't have, we received an interest payment for the municipal electric light tax of $22,493.17. We received a project reimbursement of $22,493.70, and our interest income for the month was $10,262.46. We did not have any unusual or unexpected expenses, but I would like for anyone to take a look at the financials, let me know if they have any questions.
Do you want to read the last line of that?
The general fund revenue exceeded expenditures by $519,092.33 and $166,625.07 for the month.
But in year-to-date, revenue exceeded expenditures by $840,967.65. Doesn't mean what I think.
We have some things coming up.
Yeah.
We're going to see a turnaround coming in the next couple months.
Yeah.
Hopefully not too far around.
Yeah, the year end.
Mayor Colgrove?
Yeah.
Before we go too far, I had one question for Nikki regarding the municipal income tax light interest payment. Can you explain that? Was that because of payment coming in late or something? How do you
I
gain?
think that they invest the money and then they distribute it to the different municipalities through the state.
The state does?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes. So with the interest rates being pretty high right now, they're getting more money and being able to distribute it.
Do we want to go through the, or you need to go through any of these finance updates? Any questions related to that, or anything that you wanted to point out?
No, nothing that I wanted to point out in particular. I'm pretty happy with where we're at right now. I'm not sure if there's any specific questions on the statement.
Well, we can always come back to it as we go through the budget too. You know, if there some things that probably have come up there. Yeah. Nikki, just want to start, you want to touch base a little bit on where you and Will are. I know you met with a couple of the department heads so far. I think you mentioned that last time, just to kind of give an idea, you know, if the budget process is started, where we're at, in case anybody has any questions related to that.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. This is our preliminary first draft general fund budget. We'll be working on this fund and the others throughout the next month. We've met with all department heads. A lot of the numbers on this general fund are coming from their expected expenditures. Unfortunately, this first budget revenues exceed expenditures by about $328,000, and I'm hoping that as we work through the next few months, we can get a balanced budget.
You mean expenditures exceed revenues?
No, revenues exceeding expenditures, or expenditures exceeding revenues.
Expenditures, okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah. So hopefully we can work those numbers and get a balanced budget over the next 3 or 4 months. I did try to make some notes on the very last page relating to the foot numbers in the first column. So those you could reference in the back. It might have some additional information. I didn't expect to talk too much about this tonight because I just was able to get it to you. But hopefully you can take some time over the next few weeks and look it over, and any questions, comments, and I would welcome. One note I did want to make is that we did increase our wages by the projected COLA increase, which was 2.7%. Another item I'd like to mention is possibility of 2 additional retirements in the police department. I'm not sure if it's 2 or 3. I have 2. So if that should happen in the following year, it would increase our appropriations by a minimum of $150,000 for their sick payout.
And let me, I have not received anything official.
There is nothing official.
Okay, so I haven't received any kind of paperwork or documentation. That is just a possibility that could happen, and we need to talk about it, whether or not, and we said we should, because let's, have it in there, so we see some real numbers that just have happened. But I haven't given any notification.
No notification. It's just they've reached the time that they are able to retire should they decide to do that.
Mayor Kroger?
Yes.
Yeah, I have another question for Nikki. You mentioned the, right now, that you called out the potential police retirement, but you also mentioned the expenditures exceed, right now, projected to exceed revenue. Are there any other large ticket items or large items in here that you can call out that might show why we are looking at exceeding revenue?
Not a lot of, it's basically increases in the wages. I didn't do a lot of increasing for any, inflation rates or anything like that. These numbers are all from what I've gotten from each department. They've submitted the numbers to me, so that's what I have currently in here, their expected expenditures. But as far as any one large item, I think our revenue, currently we had a couple different items that we didn't expect this year as far as the melt distributions and things like that, the RETA distribution that we had gotten the refund. Those things are not necessarily included in here because we cannot expect them next year, so that reduced our income a little bit. We've increased overtime quite a bit in the police department, so I don't think it's one big item. I think it's a lot of smaller items.
Okay, but you, sounds like you also said there was, because there were some anomalies, so to speak, on the revenue side of 2025, you do not anticipate those same things repeating in 2026.
Correct. It's possible, but I don't want to put possible in my budget projection.
Right, no,
Mark Crowe.
we don't want to.
Nikki, was service department, was that included in your budget?
Yes.
Was that one of them?
Not the 2011, just the 620 in this particular document.
Okay.
But they are on here now, their wages, their expenditures.
We need those 225 employees. That great day. That's what we need.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
For Nicole, on the last line or in your spreadsheet there, fund balance 1231. Is that the general fund balance?
Correct. This is just the general fund that we're working with.
Yeah, I'm trying to match these numbers with.
That number will not match. That is our budget number. It's not the actual general fund balance.
So let's say 2024 is 1,729,000, okay? How do you get from 1,729,000 to, well, let's say just take the current, 947,000. That's a decrease of roughly 800,000, 700-some thousand. So where is that shown in here, the difference between current revenues and current expenses?
Mr. Mayor, so if you look at 2024, that ending balance of $1,729, go back to page 1. Under current, that's going to be the beginning balance.
Okay,
And those balances carry forward with our budget
to
numbers.
current, okay, so that's current, and then I'm sorry, that's current, 1,729,000. So how come you have current 947,000? Where's that number at? Shouldn't the 1,729,000 roll over to the current on this last page, or no?
But that's the end
No,
balance.
the ending balance, the 947 on the last page would
Yeah.
carry over to current in 2026. Because that's the ending balance.
That's
so it
the
goes
ending balance for 24.
For
or
25.
25.
So where's the difference shown up in here is what I'm getting to between the 1,729,900 and the 947,000.
So that would be all the revenue in that current column, less the expenses in that column.
In the current column?
Correct. Would bring you to the 947.
Okay. So the revenue is 6,714,000, and expenses are 6,926,000. So that's a net decrease of, I'm just going to say, 220,000. So, correct? Net decrease of 220,000, somewhere in that neighborhood. So, how do we go from 1,729,000, the beginning fund balance, to a current balance of 947,000?
So you would
paid
have
our
to,
bills.
you would have to take the revenues, less the expenditures, less any transfers we've done.
You're
to
taking
get
the
there.
transfers
Yes.
out of it, okay. All right. So, 2026 projection is $618,979. It's a rather, you know, things are looking up, but to me, this looks like a rather precipitous drop, right or wrong. I mean,
Correct, but this is just taking the budget numbers, it's not the actual.
I understand that, but we have to have a blueprint to go off of, right?
Right.
So, my goal is, and again, I know things are looking up with all the development and everything that's going on, and the increase that we will be seeing, but my focus here is stemming this drop, because in 2 years we went from 1.7 million, and I know there were some things that, correct me if I'm wrong, that you had to make right since you arrived in our accounting. So that's part of why the general fund balance dropped, because you had to move things into other funds. But even with that, from 947 to 618, that's 300,000. So that's what I'm looking at.
Right.
So, and correct me if I'm wrong, correct me if I'm, blowing that out of proportion or what, but,
But that's
We
still
have to-
better than, the beginning of this year, we were looking at almost $1 million deficit.
oh, I understand, and that's what I'm saying, things are looking up.
Right.
Right, and these numbers are going to change.
Right.
I understand that. But I don't want to rest on, I don't want us to rest on our laurels. And we need to maintain our focus on this and make sure it goes on.
Right.
Well, that's, thank you for your clarification. We are, exactly.
Mr. Mayor? So I do agree with you. Our general fund balance is, our main revenue comes through the general fund, and it has continued to decline. So that's something we need to keep an eye on.
Okay, thank you.
Could you repeat that again? Could you repeat that?
The general fund is our main source of revenue,
Yes.
and it has continued to decline over the past few years that I've been here. It's something that we need to keep our eye on.
2026 will be the first full year that we'll have full payroll from Cardinal. Okay, we didn't have full payroll last year. Hopefully, we'll get some payroll in 2026. They'll complete the first building, and we'll get them in. Cardinal, we know we'll get a full year because they're there. We didn't receive the TIF money for this year, or you want to talk about that a little bit, maybe we're going to mention that. Wasn't on our end, but the county didn't submit it.
So the payment for the TIF came in a couple of days late to the county. The second payment, we did get the first payment. So we will not see that money until we get our taxes next year in March. If we needed it for some specific project, we could request it ahead of time. However, I do believe that was slated for other projects in 2026.
Nikki, what was that number? Was it 60 or 80?
The total or the second deposit?
Total.
The total was around 80.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's, let's see, the first deposit was,
40, I thought.
yeah, it was 38,766 for the draft TIF and 9,965 for the NPK.
And this one, I'm sorry.
Go ahead,
No, I have one question and then a comment. Nikki, on page 3 of 8, and I think you have cleared this up in the past, where there's a line item that says payment to another political subdivision. Of course, I believe that is related to the JED payment. Okay, so we can see that there's projected an increase here. That's fine. My question is, just want to make sure I'm correct, or hope I'm correct. There is not a separate revenue item for JED. It's incorporated into the municipal income tax brackets. It's all in there. Is that correct?
I think I'm on the wrong line. That's fire and EMS. The 1,120?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fire and EMS. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I was on the wrong line item, looking at the revenue.
That's not JED.
No.
Okay.
This is the one that you gave us for the budget.
Okay.
You know,
Right here.
but line number 12, yeah, that's not JED, that's fire and EMS.
Well, and my comment, Mayor, was basically to say thank you to Nikki and her team for getting us to where we are now, and perhaps, as you already stated, take a further look and maybe reserve a few minutes next week if we have specific questions, specific questions.
Right. Like Nikki said, she was trying to get it out and look to everybody time and digest it.
Yes.
Really. Because, we're going to end up going line item by line item.
Yes.
And we're going to go through everyone's budget the same way. But at least we have a very very good starting point. Very good projection.
And Mr. Mayor, while we are going through these line items, I would like the department heads also present. They're the ones who gave me the numbers.
Yep, we'll do that. Any other questions related to
Yeah, just thank you guys for all your work on it.
the budget and finance updates? Did I know Rob put, did we distribute that?
Mr. Mayor, yes, I did give everyone a copy
Oh,
of
good, yeah, we wanted it.
Rob's replacements.
Could you repeat that?
There
Some
was
of
a
his
copy
equipment,
of some
yeah.
of the equipment Rob was looking for. I don't know.
Mr. Mayor?
Yeah.
We will be having a infrastructure meeting next week at 6 p.m. before the council meeting to discuss, if I can speak right, to discuss those items that Joe Gelati and Mr. Kalman would like for 2026.
Nate's got a bit of few big items there. Go ahead.
Mr. Mayor, I also asked the department heads to attend one of the meetings with their wish list items that they'd like to get. So hopefully next month they'll be able to attend.
Just another quick comment. You mentioned the wish list, but you also you said earlier about our general fund balance or general fund expectation decreases. So I really hope that, as we go further into the 2026 budget, we're budgeting for needs, and wish list, could be a separate item. I mean, what do our departments need to service our departments as well as our community better? And wishes are what they are. And we have a lot of needs, I'm sure. We know that, there's some, we've already discussed police vehicles as a need item. So we know there's some stuff out there. So,
And the roads are still our biggest,
yes.
those are something we budgeted for last year, we budget this year for, that, we have to do, so we can, pull them from that fund balance. Hopefully we can do what Nikki said, start increasing that by more revenue and increasing that, balance there. So, it's gonna happen. Just gonna take a little time. Hopefully they'll start the third building soon. But even that would be another 2-3 years down the road. But we know the other one, for Great Day is still, they're working on the inside, and they have they signed a commitment with the state, the county, and us. So hopefully that will all be fulfilled. Okay, if not any other questions, we got a couple things under other business. Nikki, I'll let you talk briefly about that. We talked to Michael Slade from Oswald. Kind of just give an update on that.
We recently received our vision benefit renewal notice. It is the same coverage. We do not have to do anything as far as VSP, our carrier, is concerned. If we'd like to continue coverage, there is no change in the renewal rate. So
That's a good thing.
we would just have, I don't know if we need legislation, just, I know we do it for healthcare.
For everyone, I don't know if you want to do them. I did touch base with you after we talked. Now, I don't know if you can look at a motion or if we need anything or carriers, so that's all good news. So it automatically reduces something. I did pass out that, you know, you guys were here, about the ceiling on the asphalt. Anybody else have any comments from residents, non-residents, anybody watching? Come on up to the mic. Kevin.
My name's James Conkey, 7700 Somerset. I have a concern for the village, the residents of the village. I recently hired a company to asphalt my driveway. Had some concerns after the fact. Notified the owner. The owner promised to get with me on Thursday. Since Thursday, he has not returned any of my calls, any of my messages, and basically ditched me. So my concern would be, since he is registered with the village, that the residents be a little more cautious than I was. And I brought a show and tell so people can understand who I hired. Okay? Any questions, sir? And thank you for having me up, Mayor.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. And we kind of go through with we have another contractor right now. Did you talk to our building department to make sure they were on and everything?
Yes, it was a referral from a neighbor,
Okay.
and everything was in place. Everything looked good. Everything went fine until I asked to address some of my concerns. And he's a ghost right now.
Okay.
All right?
I just want to make sure you just follow up with the building department in case there's something we can do to address. John, anything you want to add to that on this?
I'm not sure what the issues are, but
The issues are the residents be aware of the company that I hired has not come up to the plate. That's my concern. I took a referral from a neighbor. I don't want someone to look at what was done at my place without knowing the whole misfortunes.
Mr. Mayor?
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
I was going to say, we let the building department know that, so when he inquires, at least they can relay that to the next person that might hire them.
I appreciate that.
Mr. Mayor, just a couple questions, because I've dealt with a contractor who showered me in nameless myself that did the same thing to me as apparently he's doing to you. Not that same contractor, a different one for another issue at my house. Has that contractor been paid in full?
He was paid in full 2 hours after the completion of the job.
And the job is insufficient?
There are some things that need to be worked out. He basically expressed okay, and that's when we're going to get together on a Thursday. And after that, no show. No show, no call, no nothing.
I can tell you just from my experience, my contractor stopped taking my phone calls, wasn't there at first and all that stuff, and then just stopped taking them. He did return my call after I filed a suit, small claims suit in court. He called me right away.
Well, maybe
told me.
if people watching this and realize who I talked to, because the sign was up, sealed,
Yeah.
his name's Chris, and the word spreads, maybe he'll return my phone calls.
Yeah, well, maybe, yeah, and I'm only telling you that
You
because
want it?
that was my experience. I had to file in small claims, and it never went to court because the owner called me right away as soon as he was served and said, "Okay, well, I'll give you the money you're asking for," because I had to have the job redone, partner's job. And I said, "No, you're going to give me that plus court costs." And he goes, "Oh, all right," and that was it. So that's what I had to do. You may have to do the same thing. Again, I don't know what your particulars are, but that's unfortunate. And that, yeah, maybe we can, I don't know if the building division keeps a record of claims that are, of dissatisfaction like yours, but they should, keep an objective list of those issues for other residents.
Thank
So
you.
we can ask Rob about that. I'm sure the mayor will. Thank you. And sorry for your troubles.
Mr. Mayor?
Yeah, go ahead.
I had a resident contact me. It was in my last newsletter that I put out about a roof job. Nothing was actually even done, and this resident lost almost $40,000. Gutters, roof, on a single-story ranch home. And I included it in my newsletter because she wanted the residents to know, do as much research as you can, check on the community pages, the Walton Hills Facebook pages and stuff like that too. I couldn't put the name of the contractor out, but I was putting the information out there so you guys know. Just make sure you check and let your neighbors know. If you can put it on that community page, what happened to you and stuff, then hopefully our residents can find out that way too.
Thank you.
Anything else?
No, sir. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Any other comments from? Come on up.
Hubert Reno, 7067 Carl Drive. I have two questions. What are the necessary tax levies? Tax levies, are they new or old?
They're every year. Every year?
We just have to tell them what our existing one is, and they make sure there wasn't any changes.
They're strictly renewals,
Yeah,
Correct.
we didn't change anything.
no changes.
No changes.
Okay, the other subject is the visibility of the intersection on Carl Drive and Eckford Road. The work which was done during the week since last meeting did not change the visibility. It's still a dangerous intersection. When we pull up to the visibility point, quite often cars coming up the Eckford Road Hill blow the horn because they're afraid that people might pull out of Carl Drive. So based on the emails I sent to you and to Council President, I'd like to know what can be done to resolve the problem.
Well, I'll answer where we're at now. We were here on Tuesday, toward the end of the week. The service department went out and trimmed in the right-of-way. Okay? And are waiting on signs, and then they'll post signs that hit an intersection.
I don't know if
So
the sign would,
I was pretty happy with the response. I told Mr. Bauman on Wednesday morning, and we had those items already completed before the end of the day Friday. I thought that was pretty good, and I'll express your concerns with him in the next couple of days.
thank you. I don't know if the sign would do any good to most people who don't even read signs. So, thank you.
Mr. Mayor? The village can only clear the right-of-way, correct? The homeowner, if it's the homeowner that's got the rest of the property, that would be up to,
It would be up to them.
up to them.
That's correct. We can't go on private.
Right.
That's,
So there's only so far that we can actually clear on that property.
and that was my update, so. I would say that's the update I have right now. Any other questions, comments?
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
As long as no other residents. I did watch last week while I was out sick, and just a couple of things. If you guys make sure you talk into the microphones, because during the rec meeting, you couldn't hear anything that Natalie was saying at all. And even Don, you project quite a bit, but you still, everybody needs to get closer to the microphone.
No, I mean, we tape them so people can hear it.
Right.
Not the tape them so you can't.
Yeah. And I also would like to just thank our officers and chief for the mess that they are dealing with at the end of Alexander. We don't know how many times in the past, since they shut down at Hub Parkway, that they are making semis back down onto Notting Hill and turn around and stuff. It's just been a mess, but they've really been staying up there with it.
No, I appreciate that. Last Friday, I was with Mayor Valley and Matt Marsh, and we also had a conference call with our chief. And one of the things he did was thank our chief and our department for the cooperation his community, his police department received from us. Of course, that's what we all want, that's our nation and community. So thank you for saying that, because I would echo those words.
No, there were even officers, some of the times, stopped at Dunham and Alexander, and they were making the trucks turn back up to the intersection to go back down Alexander. And I did let one of the officers know later in the evening, there's a company there, I will not say who, that's in Hub Parkway, and they have smaller vehicles, utility vans, and they're all going west, to get to Hub Parkway that way. But the officers have been great, and they've been on top of it.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Yeah, it's not, they closed the other ramp. So both ramps coming and going on the canal are closed. The traffic was backed up on Friday all the way to 21. And a lot of people think they still have to go around Hub Park, or they find out they can't, they turn around. And I have pictures of it, it's a mess. To get to Valley View, you have to go from Walton Hills, you have to go all the way to 21, and then turn and come on Pleasant Valley Road to get back. So, I don't know how long it's going to be. I think they poured the one side. Hopefully they get the other side poured today or tomorrow. Maybe it'll be open next week. I don't know.
Well, they're supposed to be closed there at Hub Parkway for 90 days, from
Yeah,
August 23rd.
But they poured the one side already. It's already done. So as soon as they can switch that and pour the other side, they have 90 days, but whether it's going to take 90 days to open it up.
We posted what we received from Christian Lake in the county. We received those, we will post, hopefully it will take place soon. I just know, as a mayor, the other mayors in this area, and the deputy mayor, March, has really been gotta kind of look past it, it stinks, no different than the Dunham Road, but then you gotta look at the big picture that when it's done, you'll have something that should benefit us all. That light goes on, it stinks, it affects businesses, sometimes it affects businesses, very a lot of interest. But what it does show you is how new Pleasant Valley is.
Alexander.
Really, it's really just really relevant. It really is.
That's the pictures from it, and it's just thousands and thousands of cars. It's unbelievable.
Well, Alexander to Walton Hills is a direct route between 271 and 77.
And Solon.
Exactly. And you have industry all along the way.
Yep.
From 21, Independence all the way.
Glenwillow, Solon, yeah, it's all.
It's tough. So, hopefully, I received the same, Uber, it just made me think, but I do believe signs work. Not everybody does read them. I think a lot of people still think our border is on the other side of the bridge. Okay, so, you are right in some regards to signs, so we'll try to do whatever we can.
Well, the mayor,
Any other?
yeah, I was just gonna say, the mayor of Valley View, Matt March, if he leaves Walton Hills, he has to go all the way around to 21, come down Pleasant Valley to get to his house. And he's what, half a mile from the Walton Hills line, so and he's the mayor, so.
Hopefully, yeah, Friday was probably the worst. Okay. Any other questions, comments, or anything before I ask for an adjournment for this week? Done? Can I ask for adjournment?
Yes. Mayor Colgraf, members of the council, I ask for adjournment for the committee of the whole meeting, Tuesday, September 9, 2025, 8:01 p.m.
Is there a second? Second by Councilman Nielsen. Vote on the motion.
Councilman Nielsen?
Yes.
Councilwoman Kanzoni?
Yes.
Councilwoman Allen?
Yes.
Councilman Spitznagel?
Yes.
Councilman Whedon?
Yes.
They were all with it.
Meeting adjourned.
All
Thank
the
you,
way.
everybody. Just leave.
Mike's turn.